What is the most effective way to get yourself into the habit of making daily cold calls? Well, in this week's video, we'll discuss a strategy from the best-selling book, Atomic Habits by James Clear. We'll take you through the study that hatched the concept and show you how to take the same steps to create better habits for making more sales calls. I'm Benjamin Kowalski with Freight 360, where we provide the latest transportation sales tips and training videos to help you reach your goals faster. If you're a fan of the content, please support us by crushing that like button and sharing us with all of your colleagues. For more info on our Freight Broker course, Freight Broker Basics, be sure to click the link in the show notes or go to freight360.net for more free training material. If you're new to sales and you're having a hard time making cold calls, you probably think you just need the right motivation. Am I right? Well, I think you'll be surprised by this video that you're not lacking motivation, and what you do need is a lot simpler and easier to come by. This strategy is the same one we use in coaching to help freight brokers and agents establish the habits for making more sales calls. The most make or break task for freight brokerage is this habit. It's by far the most important. It's when there's a technique that's both tested and successful, we hope that you'll put it into practice today. In the early 2000s, researchers in Great Britain began with a group of about 250 people to establish better habits for exercising over a period of 2 weeks. They were divided into 3 separate groups. The first group was the control group. They were only asked to track how often they went to the gym and worked out. The second group was the motivation group. They were asked to track their workouts and to read motivational content on the benefits of working out. The researchers also taught the group how to exercise in a way that improved their heart health and reduced the risk of heart disease. I like to think of this group as really the majority of people today, right? They'll watch hours of short and long form videos to learn about something new, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, or another platform. The third group received the same motivational content and educational instruction. However, they were also asked to write down a plan for when and where they would exercise the following week. Specifically, each member of this group was asked to complete the following sentence. During the next week, I will partake in at least 20 minutes of vigorous exercise on Monday at 2 o'clock at this specific gym. The results in the first 2 groups, right? 35 and 38% of the people exercised at least once per week. Surprisingly, the motivational content given to the second group had absolutely no meaningful impact on their behavior. So for most people, spending hours on social media to learn a new task, this is pretty compelling evidence that just watching others do something successfully probably won't make you any better at it. But get this, 91% of the third group exercised at least once per week, which was more than double the normal rate, right? The sentence that each filled out was the special sauce that made all of the difference. It's what researchers refer to as an implementation intention. It's just a plan that you make beforehand about when and where you'll act, how you intend to implement a particular habit, right? And the format's simple. When X situation arises, I will perform response Y. Now, hundreds of studies have shown that implementation intentions are effective for hitting our goals and creating successful habits. Whether it's writing down the exact time and date when you have a doctor's appointment or recording the time of your next root canal. What they do is they increase the odds that people will stick with the habits like studying, recycling, going to bed earlier, and even quitting smoking. Remember, at the beginning of this video, I asked about getting motivated to make cold calls. Well, most people think they lack motivation, when what they really lack is clarity. It's not always clear or obvious when and where to take an action. So when you are specific, it really helps you say no to the things that also derail your progress, distract your attention, and pull you off course. And for us freight brokers, right, we certainly don't need any help derailing us from our tasks. The industry throws us enough curveballs already. So how do we implement this with our freight brokers and our agents? It's pretty simple. Write out this sentence for yourself today. I will make 20 prospecting calls between 9 and 11 tomorrow, and create a calendar invite with an alert for that time tomorrow. We suggest that you do this 2 times that are no longer than 2 hours when you're first starting out. 1 in the morning and once in the afternoon. Make sure that you have the following written out for yourself at the end of every day. The call volume you expect to make tomorrow, the day, and the time window for your next day of work. Remember, this implementation intention also helps you avoid tasks that are important, but maybe not necessarily urgent. Things like invoicing carriers and customers, maybe in the middle of your day, or running rates for bids that can be done outside of highly valuable prospecting hours. Listen, no one jumps out of bed in the morning excited to make cold calls. So creating guardrails for your day to keep you on track is really just one more benefit. The final step is to count your calls by either making hash marks on a piece of paper or counting a stack of quarters or paper clips. Yes, I know your CRM or your phone system will track this as well. But having a physical representation helps leverage the reward system in your brain. I use quarters and a metal cup. Slot machines, for instance, in casinos, harness the same concept to keep you coming back. The sounds will train your brain to light up with dopamine and reward your call progress. It's the same way that gamblers will continue feeding quarters into that slot machine even when they're losing. This last step, remember, is also crucial for you to measure your performance from day to day. This way you can track your improvement and your progress over time. For more tips on building successful freight brokerages and sales habits, check out our website, freight360.net, for more information on our freight broker course, Freight Broker Basics, where you'll learn everything you need to know about earning a living as a freight broker and what it takes to build a successful freight brokerage.